Hi, my name's Olivia, and I'm going to have a bit of a chat to you today about the role of youth ministry in today's society. I'm going to explore some of the concepts addressed in David Kinnaman's You Lost Me about why young people leave the church, and sometimes even their faith. And unchristian, looking more into what younger generations outside of the church are thinking. David Kinnaman likens ministry in today's secular society to the story of Daniel and the change from Jewish culture to being immersed in the culture of Babylon. From Jerusalem being a place where faith is encouraged, theology is explored, and belief matters, to then go to Babylon, which was a cosmopolitan, urban, multicultural, spiritual but pagan, sexualized and distracted culture. The same problem of living in a culture that is at odds with their faith, where there's this mishmash of cultures, identities, perspectives and values, and messages and ideas and worldviews, and youth are trying to make sense of that. Youth ministry in this secular culture brings about a whole different set of challenges, and by recognising these, they can be used as opportunities to better reach today's youth. Seeing what young people have to say about church helps examine the role youth ministries needs to play and the steps they must take to be most effective.
I think my non-Christian friends think that church isn't really fun, and they think it's just that people that are nice that follow lots of rules.
I think they probably think it's a bit daggy. Alright, so what people at uni and work think of church. A lot of people are at different stages, so some people you tell them about church and they're like, oh, that's really good, that's great. And then other people are like, oh, and just kind of walk away, and it's like a conversation stopper.
I always thought church is just a religious institution, just like a university or school, or like a university would be just a place you go to get something. I saw the church as that instead of a place where you go to worship. Or
as a whole church, we are more famous for what we oppose rather than what we stand for. According to Kinnaman, there are 6 major factors that cause young people to be critical of the church. The first factor is that Christians are seen as hypocrites. Young people see Christians as unreal people who have superior, polished attitudes. They act like they've got it all together, yet so often they don't practice what they preach. Young people also think that the church is too focused on getting converts. It questions whether Christians actually care about people, or if all they want is another pat on the back and tick on their list for getting a new convert. The idea that the church is anti-gay is also one of the most widely spread criticisms. Outsiders say that Christians hate gay and lesbians. They are aiming to cure homosexuals and leveraging political situations against them. The fourth major issue is that the church is seen as sheltered, out of touch with reality, simplistic, and not willing to deal with the problems in people's lives. It is also said that Christians are too political, that the church is too involved and pushed too strongly for political issues. And finally, the church is seen as judgmental, that we are not honest with our perspectives. Young people don't see any of the love that we claim in our decisions and viewpoints. All of this, we have to re-examine the substance of our relationships and the shape of our institutions. The interviews I had with young people revealed that relationships were the key reasons why they were involved in youth ministries and connected into the church. And just as obvious was that people who struggled to make strong relationships within the church slowly slipped out of contact and their faith struggled. Christians are made to be in community, and the Bible repeatedly emphasizes the importance of having support in order to not drift away from the faith. Must offer this form of support and community for their young people.
Places. So it's kind of a bit of an effort to make friends with people and I'm not the most social of persons when it comes to meeting new people.
Lots of things out of you, not just that you have friends here, but you meet new people.
Probably didn't mean a heap to my life back then, as much as I would have liked it to. I suppose if there had been more people my age in the youth group, it would have been more helpful.
So I guess the thing that really changed was just seeing someone who actually spent time and actually cared.
To lift our reputation as an entire community, Christ's followers must learn to respond to people the way Jesus did. With criticism, leaders and people within the church should be searching for the question behind the question, the heart issues, what people are really struggling with, not making an effort to come back with the most convincing argument. By being creative and presenting the gospel in a more contemporary manner, we can also help to break down the barriers relating to the church being out of touch. By truly caring and being compassionate, living lives that first seek God and the kingdom, young people are able to see when we are being genuine. Our youth ministries must be places that young people come and see the exuding love of Christ rather than judgment. The role of youth ministries in this secular society must be countercultural. The message of the gospel does cause division amongst people. Simply stated, some people believe and other people don't. But it is our responsibility to do all we can to break down the barriers for young people to seek life. By having gospel-driven ministries rather than ministries of religiosity, young people will most effectively be reached in this contemporary secular society.